We talk so much about the aesthetics, the florals, the lightings, the table settings, but underneath the beauty lies the binding contract, the legality. If you're planning from abroad, navigating government portals and legal timelines can feel like walking through a maze blindfolded. You worry and ask yourself, will my marriage be legal? Will the registrar show up? What if I miss a deadline? Well, in this video, I am walking you through the structural reality of booking your marriage registration appointment while living in the diaspora. And stay with me until the end because the final logistical detail is the one that most couples overlook. And this is the difference between a seamless ceremony and a legal crisis on your wedding morning. So a wedding in Kenya or any destination location is not just a celebration. It is a legal procedure wrapped in a luxury experience. When couples start planning from abroad, they often assume the legal side is automatic, and it's not. The system does not know you are actually coming unless you tell it, and you must tell it in the language it understands. We are talking about the difference between a wedding, which is a party, and a marriage, which is a state-recognized union. To have the latter, you need structure. You need to understand the notice of marriage, the special license, and the specific logistical realities of moving a government official from their office to your venue. Today, we are breaking these things into clear, manageable steps so you can stop worrying about the government and start focusing on your own vows. Begin with clarity. Before you even open a government portal, you must understand what kind of marriage you are booking. This is where the first misalignment happens. In Kenya, for example, are you looking for a civil marriage, which is purely administrative and conducted by the registrar? Or are you looking for a Christian or religious marriage, where a licensed minister officiates but the state recognizes it? This distinction matters because the booking process is different. If you're having a religious ceremony, your priest or pastor handles much of the legal interfaces. But if you are like many of my diaspora brides who want a civil union conducted at a beautiful outdoor venue, you are dealing directly with the state law office. You must decide, do you want the legal signing to happen on the wedding day in front of your guest, or do you want to do the legal bit at the government chambers a few days prior and have the wedding day be purely ceremonial? Efficiency is elegance, so deciding this now prevents confusion later. 2. The timeline and the notice. This is your currency. In the world of government appointments, you cannot negotiate with the calendar. Standard procedures often require a notice of marriage. This is public declaration of your intent to marry by law. This notice usually must run for at least 21 days. Now ask yourself, will you be in the country for 21 days before your wedding? For most of you flying from London, New York, or Dubai, or any other part of the world, the answer is no. You're likely arriving 1 week or perhaps 10 days before the event. So if you cannot satisfy the 21 days residency requirement for the notice, you cannot use the standard route. You must plan for a special license. I have seen couples panic because they booked a standard appointment, arrived in the country, and were told they haven't been there long enough to legally marry. Do not let that be you. Preparation prevents emotional chaos. If your travel dates are tight, You are acknowledging right now that you need a waiver or a special license. That leads us to the mechanism of booking the digital portal. In Kenya, we use the eCitizen platform. It is a powerful tool but requires patience. You will need to create an account, and here is a logistical reality. Systems glitch, verification codes can be delayed, so when you log in to book your appointment, you will need digitized versions of your documents ready. That is your passport, your birth certificate, and perhaps most importantly, your affidavits of single status if you're coming from abroad. Do not wait until the night you decide to book to find these documents. Scan them, have them high resolution, have them ready. When you navigate to the marriage section, you will select your preferred date, but remember, selecting a date on a screen is not a guarantee until it is paid for and confirmed. And not on payment. Ensure your mobile number system or card payments are authorized for international transactions if you're booking from the US or UK. A failed payment here can lose you your slot. So luxury planning begins with the intention. Intention means checking your bank limits before you click pay. And 4, the registrar at the venue. Now let's discuss the venue. If you're booking a registrar to come to your hotel or garden venue, and remember this is for the special license, this is considered a fixed place of worship or licensed location. However, a wedding in Kenya, especially in an outdoor or remote location, is not plug and play. You must ensure the registrar has transport. The government officer is not responsible for finding their way to your venue in Naivasha or Diani. It is your responsibility or your planner's responsibility to facilitate their movement. Logistical realities dictate that you must budget for their transport and, in some cases, their accommodation if the venue is far from the station. I have witnessed outdoor ceremonies where the registrar arrived late or was frustrated simply because the transport logistics were handled very poorly. So this is not just about booking the appointment, it's about facilitating the person who holds the power to legitimize your union. Treat them with the same level of hospitality you would treat your guest. 5, the interview verification. Once you've booked the appointment online, there's usually a verification step. Even with the digital booking, you will likely need to appear physically before the registrar a few days before the wedding. We often call this the interview or verification. They need to see the original documents. They need to see that you are who you say you are. Do not book your flight to arrive the night before the wedding. You need a buffer. You need to land, settle, and have at least 2 working days to visit Sharia House or the local registrar's office to finalize on the paperwork. This is the decision point person inside you taking charge. Schedule this meeting into your itinerary just as you schedule your hair trial or your welcome dinner. It is mandatory. And finally, the step that transforms everything: verification of details before the certificate is printed. When you are in the appointment, check the spellings, check the names, check the dates. Once the certificate is typed and signed on your wedding day, correcting an error is a bureaucratic nightmare that can take months. I have seen couples so excited to get married that they gloss over a misspelled middle name on the draft. Don't do that. Read it, verify it, then sign. Because destination weddings should feel refined, not rushed, and not chaotic. Dear bride, thank you for watching. If this helped you find clarity in the chaos, please subscribe for more honest guidance on planning your legacy. I'll see you in the next episode.